Hi everyone, good morning, and it's nice to be back. Okay, so I hope you are all doing well. And today I am so excited because one of my students requested this vlog for me to be able to, to share and to help give tips on how you guys will ace a specific process or a specific threshold when you apply in a BPO industry. So basically we're going to still talk about English, and this time our topic is all about how to ace Versant test. So I know that most of you is trying to apply in a BPO, so you got the experience, you already got the training speaking the English language, but when you take Versant you're still failing. And it's, yes, I understand, it's really frustrating to fail this specific exam because you already have the experience taking in calls, and then you already been from a different call center, but then again when you take this specific exam you suddenly failed and you lose everything. Okay, so today I hope this video would be able to help most of you, especially in passing the. I would like to share my personal experience when I took Versant. I would have to say that yes, Versant can be a killer, because for me I find it really challenging because it has different parts. When I took Versant, the first part that I've encountered was all about reading, wherein I was asked to read sentences. Then it was followed with repeat questions. And the challenge in this category is that you will be given sentences ranging from 3 words to 15 words. And then for you to repeat a sentence longer, about 7 syllables, you must recognize the words as spoken in a continuous stream of speech. Third is all about short answer questions. Well, it's a bit tricky. All you need to do is to listen very carefully. Make sure that you have a good comprehension so that you'll be able to pick the right answer. After that, you will also be given a part wherein you will be building sentences. So in this category, you will be hearing 3 short phrases, and you will be asked to rearrange them to make a sentence. I also find it challenging because the phrases are presented in a random order. One of my favorite parts of Versant is the story retelling. So in this task, you will be listening to a brief story, and you will be then asked to describe what happened using your own words. So you need to be a bit careful with how you construct your sentences. You only have 30 seconds to respond to each story. Make sure to tell as much of the story as you can, including the situation, and then if they mention the name of a specific person or a specific place, make sure to remember all of those. And then if they also mention a specific time, make sure to mention that when you repeat or when you retell the story. And the last part is one of the most exciting parts, because this is all about, it's similar to a beauty queen questions. So they call it as an open questions. In this task, you will be listening to spoken questions that would elicit an opinion. So you will be asked to provide an answer with an explanation, and you only have I think I can remember it's around 30 to 40 seconds to respond to each question. So the questions is basically related to day-to-day issues, or it depends on you and how you will be able to deliver your answers, but you have to make sure to be spontaneous. Make sure that you will be able to deliver an answer that's related to the questions being asked. So those are the 6 parts of Versant that I can remember when I took it. Okay guys, I think we have reached the most difficult or the most challenging part of this video, because this time I'm going to give you a short demonstration on how to take Versant. Just remember that whenever you are asked to take a Versant, you have to make sure that you have a valid TIN number to be provided to you by the test administrator from any of the companies that you are going to apply. And yeah, you will be asked to dial. Well, usually the instruction is written on the paper, and then all you need to do is to read it and follow it. So you will be given a specific number to dial, and then after that, you will also be given a TIN number or a code wherein you will have to input that or to enter that for you to be able to access Versant. So let's just pretend that I've already dialed the number, and this is what are you going to hear on the Versant machine test.
Welcome to the Versant. It is important to speak naturally during the test. Here are some tips. Speak at a normal speed, like you would during a conversation. Speak like you are talking to a person on the phone. There is no need to speak carefully or slowly. Speak at a normal volume, too loud or too soft. Now, please say your name.
My name is Ryke.
Now, please say the city and country you are calling from.
Manila, Philippines.
Now, please follow the instructions for Part A through F. Part A, reading. Please read the sentences as you are instructed. Please read sentence 1.
All her life, Kathy has wanted to learn to play the piano.
Now read sentence 2.
In last week's local paper, she noticed a beginner's piano course.
So there you have it. You've heard the very first part of Versant. So in that part, you guys will be asked to read a specific sentences. So usually they'll provide 8 to 10 sentences, and then you just have to listen to the instruction of the assessor. And yeah, once the assessor tells you to read sentence 8, then read sentence 8. But make sure to remember that you have to enunciate the words properly. Make sure that you pronounce the words properly. So be very careful with how you produce the sound for both vowels and consonants. Same thing with your schwa sounds, and together with the diphthongs. And also, it's important that you would be able to hit and drop the final sounds. Okay, so that's basically for the first part. Now let's move on to the second. Okay guys, we're now moving on to the second part of Versant, and this is called the repeat sentence. So I'll let you listen to the first part of the repeat sentence test.
Part B, repeat. Please repeat each sentence that you hear. For example, a voice says, leave town on the next train. And you say,
leave town on the next train. You're supposed to meet at 6 o'clock.
You're supposed to meet at 6 o'clock.
I need help with the new printer.
I need help with a new printer.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you, that in this task, you will be asked to repeat sentences that you will be hearing verbatim or verbatim. So usually sentences are ranging in length from 3 words to 15 words. This is a bit challenging. That's why you need to listen carefully. So my style when I took this exam is that I closed my eyes, listen very carefully. But there are those who are into writing, so they listen and at the same time they're writing. But it didn't work for me. But if you think that would work for you, then you can do that. So this is basically for the second part of. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that in this part, the repeat part, you will be asked to repeat 10 sentences. 10, guys, 10. Yes, 10. Okay, so all you need to do is to pay attention and listen very carefully and focus on the test so that you'll be able to repeat all of the sentences that we'll be hearing from the. Alrighty, so we're now moving on to part C, and let me just play this for the part C.
Part C, question.
Okay.
Now, please just give a simple answer to the questions. For example, a voice says, would you get water from a bottle or a newspaper? And you say,
A bottle.
or,
From a bottle. Are pillows soft or hard?
It's soft.
Lucy has a load of laundry to do. Will she use a washing machine or a dishwasher?
A washing machine.
So you've heard the you have now the idea about short answer questions. So again, let me just repeat that in this task, you will be listening to spoken questions and you will be required to answer each question with a single word or a short phrase. Okay, so each question asks for basic information or requires a very simple answer or very simple references based on times, sequence, number, lexical content, or logic. So basically, even a child or a young kid can answer this question. All you need to do, again, the secret is for you to listen very carefully, pay attention to each of the questions, and answer it right away. Now on the one of the most complex parts of the Versant test. So we are now on part D. This is called the sentence builds. So in this category, you will be asked, or you will be hearing 3 short phrases, and you will be asked to rearrange them to make a sentence. So again, this is a bit tricky and this is getting more challenging. So the phrases are presented in a random order, so excluding the original word order. And the candidates or you would have to say a reasonable and grammatical sentence that compromises exactly the 3 given phrases. So I'll let you listen to the actual test of this category.
By train. Regularly traveled.
They regularly traveled by train.
Will be away. My boss. For a week.
My boss will be away for a week.
Fresh fruit. Do you object to eating?
Do you object to eating fresh fruits?
Is hanging in the closet. Frank's leather coat.
Frank's leather coat is hanging on the closet.
So see, okay, those are just like short phrases, but then again, I find it really challenging. And again, just like the repeat sentences, you will also be given 10 questions in this category. So again, the secret is for you to listen carefully, pay attention, and make sure that you will be able to, that you focus in each and every question so that you'll be able to answer all of the questions that will be thrown to you in this category. We're now on the second to the last part of the Versant test, and this is the part wherein you will be asked to retell a specific story. So just like what I've mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video, that in this task you will be asked to listen to a brief story, and then you will be asked to describe what happened using your own words. So make sure to be very careful with how you construct your sentences and with how you organize your thoughts. And of course, you also need to be mindful of your grammar. So in this category, you will be given 30 seconds to retell a specific story. So I'd like to encourage you to tell as much of the story as you can, including the situation, the characters, the actions, and the ending of the story. So I am going to play a part of this category, and I'll try to do it and try to summarize it using my own words in 30 seconds. So let's try to listen to this one.
When you hear the beep, you will have 30 seconds to retell the story in English. Try to retell as much of the story as you can, including the situation, characters, actions, and ending. You will hear another beep at the end of the 30 seconds. Kate wanted to buy a piano. She saved up for 3 years and finally had enough money. Just before she left for the music store, Kate's friend called her and said that Kate could have her piano because she was moving to a new house. Kate was very excited. She got her friend's piano for free and spent her money on piano lessons.
The story talks about Kate who wanted to buy a piano. She tried to save up the money for 3 years and finally had enough. But just before she left for the music store, her friend called her and told Kate that she wanted to give her the old piano because she's moving to another place and she's giving it free of charge. Kate was then very happy for not spending the money in buying a new piano, and she instead spent or used the money in piano lessons. So that's how I try to retell the story. So I actually listened to the actual story and tried to do it on my own for 30 seconds. You just have to make sure to avoid having dead air. Make sure to avoid make sure that you need to be very spontaneous in expressing yourself when you are trying to summarize the story, and make sure that you guys will not stutter, and also you have to make sure to avoid long pauses and of course the dead air, so that you'll be able to surely get. Okay, dokie, it's your turn, guys, and this time I'm going to play the recorded story, and I want you to take this challenge. Okay, try to listen to the story and repeat or try to retell the story for 30 seconds. Again, you will only hear the story once, and when you hear the beep sound, then it's a sign that you would have to start retelling the actual story. Okay, and here you go. Enjoy.
A boy goes to the library to print a paper history of one. When he prints the pages, they are blank. The boy tries to solve the problem, but isn't able to. A library worker notices his problem and comes over to help him. The worker looks at the printer and discovers that there is no ink. The worker replaces the ink, and the boy prints his paper successfully.
3, 2, 1, and time. So your 30 seconds is over. Okay, so I hope you guys learn to summarize the story. Okay, and yeah, I only have one recorded story on my end, but then again, I hope that this activity help you in practicing the repeat sentence part of on the last part of the Versant test. And this is the part wherein you will be asked to listen to spoken questions that elicit an opinion. So this is called an open questions. Like earlier, I've mentioned that this is similar to a beauty queen questions or a Miss Universe type of questions. So you will be asked to provide an answer with an explanation, and you usually will have 40 seconds to respond to each of the questions. So I'd like to let everyone know that questions are basically related to your day-to-day issues or your preferences and choices. There is no right or wrong answers in this category, and I would strongly suggest you to please use prep, okay, when you are answering a question. Prep is basically one of this is basically one of the strategies that you can use in answering questions like this. Prep is basically like an abbreviation. So P for stands for point, okay? And point, that means that what do you really wanted to say, okay? And then after the point, you have to make sure to proceed with the R, which stands for the reasons, okay? It can be an opinion. So why do you feel, why do you believe, and why did you say, and why did you pick that reason? And then you proceed with the E, okay? That's for you to explain or for you to expound, to give some examples, and also to share some experiences if you needed to. And of course, you need to get back to the P, and that which is another point. So that's point, reason, explain or example, and also the point. Make sure to end with a bang and go back to your point. Okay, so I'll let you listen to an example of the open questions. Okay, so here
Open questions. You will hear 2 questions about family life or personal choices. Each question will be spoken twice, followed by a beep. When you hear the beep, you will have 40 seconds to answer the question. You will hear another beep at the end of the 40 seconds.
Imagine that a friend or family member is visiting you. Would you take this person to a restaurant, or would you make a meal at home? Explain your choice.
if I'll have the opportunity to be visited by a relative in my house, I will choose to make a menu or cook my favorite pasta with pizza. Because I believe that making and sharing a dish is one of the best ways to show that you value and care for someone. I also believe that the best bonding can always happen over a plate of a delicious food. And this is why I choose to cook my favorite menu. So that's basically the answer that I can think of, and I think I was able to answer that question for 40 seconds. So just make your answer as simple as you can. Make sure to be direct to the point, make sure to be on point, and make sure that your answer is a bit related to the questions that you will be hearing. And this time, it's your turn to listen to your own question. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me just play your question. Okay, so here is your question. Here.
People think that weekends should be spent resting and relaxing, while other people prefer to use the extra time to complete work. How do you like to spend weekend time? Please explain.
Okay, I'll repeat the question.
People think that weekends should be spent resting and relaxing, while other people prefer to use the extra time to complete work. How do you like to spend weekend time? Please explain. People think...
So your 40 seconds starts now. and your time is over. Okay, so that's basically how to take Versant. Okay, and I hope that you guys learned from this short video. Okay, I would have to tell every one of you that I am not an expert, but what I have shared with you is just based on my own experience when I took Versant. So I hope this is. Just before I forget, I was actually approached by one of the Versant takers, and I was asked if it's okay for him to recite a specific lyrics of his song, or to recite a specific prayer like the Hail Mary and the Our Father. This is the part for the story retelling and also for the open questions. My answer for this is a big no. I hope you guys won't listen to those people who are telling that it is effective. It is not the right thing to do in this category. It is because this might actually affect your comprehension, and you're asked to retell a specific story that's being said by the recording, then you have to retell a story related to what you have heard. Same thing with the open questions. You're asked a specific question, then answer the question honestly. Do not go through with a prayer, or do not even recite a specific lyrics of a music. Well, I'm just asking you to do what is right. Okay, let's always choose to do what is right, and so that we can make sure that we'll be able to get the points for these categories. Okay, thank you, and I hope you will. And there you have it, folks. Okay, so before I end this video, I'd like to thank every one of you for supporting my previous videos, and I hope you will also try to like and subscribe to my channel. And then again, I also would like to encourage those who are Versant takers. In case that you won't make it with the Versant, I hope you will never give up. I would like to tell you that you just have to keep on trying. Okay, just keep on trying, and of course you need to practice. So please pay attention, focus on every question, and always be positive. Again, this is Ryke, and thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful day, and see you on my next video. Goodbye.